Welcome to Longevity in Motion, a content series from Progressive Motion where we explore what it takes to move well, feel strong, and live with purpose for the long haul. Every episode features conversations with our own Progressive Motion coaches, diving into the principles, practices, and personal stories behind lasting health. I'm here with Dr. Josh, one of our founders here at Progressive Motion. Before we get into today's topic, can you introduce yourself and share a bit about the work you do?
Hey, Dr.Josh Moreali here. I'm the co-owner of Progressive Motion Physiotherapy. Basically, I got my hands in everything a little bit. So I'm still out there treating clients one-on-one. I'm working on operations, creating systems for the business, and I still got my hands in the financial side a little bit too, with the help of our CFO, fractional CFO, and our advisor. So it's been fun getting my hands in everything. And the one thing I've learned though through this is the principles apply across the genres, right? So it's like the same principle I use treating the clients, like some of the same ways that you look at business. So it's been super cool to kind of tie those two worlds together.
Awesome. Today we're going to be covering rituals, not routines, creating systems that support lifelong movement. So to start us off, Dr. Josh, what's the difference between a routine and a ritual in your world?
So I always look at it this way, like a routine is something you just do. It's like when you hear stretching routine, I just go through my motions. I do my toe touch, I side bend, and it's a routine. Versus a ritual has intention behind it, where like if I was to take that same routine I just described to turn it into a ritual, it's like I have a specific outcome I'm shooting for with my mobility. Like I'm trying to improve my toe touch, or I'm trying to improve my hamstring length. So I'd say if you look at it that way, it's like it's a little bit more intentional. A ritual.
Great. And then why do you think so many people struggle with consistency even when they know what to do?
This is one I've been looking at forever for myself and just clients, and what's the drivers to get somebody to consistently do a behavior that sometimes doesn't feel good. And if you use motivation only, motivation is fleeting based on how you feel that day. You could be more motivated or less motivated, which then if we only use motivation, which is very emotional, then some days I won't do anything, some days I do a lot. So it's not a good way to look at it. I like discipline over motivation. And discipline is doing the things that you hate doing and doing them like you love them. So that's the rigor of consistently setting aside that time and making sure that it happens. And I think that's where living life with intention, I know for me personally, it's been that I've been a free spirit in the sense of I adapt on the fly, but when you do it that way, you live with less intention. You end up relying on motivation, how you feel to get things done, versus like, this is what's got to be done. It's discipline.
Mm-hmm. So for those who maybe rely more on motivation than discipline, that can be a bit of a difficult mindset switch. What would you suggest to those people who maybe haven't had the best luck with discipline? How should they make that switch to be able to rely on discipline?
I think number one, you have to ask yourself, why are you trying to implement this behavior? Because you have to find a deeper driver. Like we always use this for physical therapy services. Let's say I have right shoulder pain. It's like, okay, it's like an external motivator. I just want to get rid of the pain. But if you tie it to an intrinsic motivator, something that's really deep, like I can't lift my son over my head, like, oh, we can't play together, like, and he's sad that I can't lift him, that becomes a lot more motivating to address versus the other one, which is more superficial. So I say, number one, find the deeper driver, which is going to allow you to persevere through the ups and downs of what discipline takes, and that helps carry you through. So I would say taking time to reflect on what's really pushing you to want to do this behavior, and then finding that and using that as a driver.
Great. And then can you walk us through or give us a snapshot of your daily or weekly rituals around movement, recovery, strength, etc.?
So mine's very adaptive to what time of the year it is, meaning my kids play sports. So when it's in season for their sport, my evenings are shot because I'm on the field helping out and taking them to their practices. So my current workflow for health and wellness type stuff for myself is, right now they're off season, so my training tends to be in the evening. So I do my, whether 5:30, 5:45, wake up, kind of prepare for the day mentally, make my 10 eggs. It's actually 3 whole eggs and the rest egg whites. And then from there, it's like, okay, getting the car ready for my home visits and being out on the road doing that. And then coming home and taking my kids to the gym because they have child care services there. And then Gino lives with me now, so it's kind of cool to teach him. So then the evening is kind of where I have my ritual of health and wellness.
Is a ritual or are rituals something that you talk to clients about and implementing the work that you're doing in sessions into their daily rituals?
Yeah, and that's where we always ask, like, what is the minimum effective dose? Because then it, like, for a lot of people I work with, they're high level executives, so they're every minute counts for them too. So it's kind of cool that I have the personal experience of what it's like versus somebody who maybe is out of grad school and has a lot of time and does 2 hours of training, which would be nice. So I think number one, it's like, okay, minimal effective dose. What things are going to give us the result with the minimal amount of time? So figuring that out and then selling that to the client in regards to this is the minimum amount that's going to get you the result you want. We got to fit into your life now. So where can we fit this in? A lot of times, like Atomic Habits is a book that really talks about this, how you can anchor it to behaviors that are already present. Like, for example, like we all brush our teeth. So if there's some behavior that could be easily grouped with brushing your teeth, it would be more likely to happen if you were to anchor it to that, meaning doing it right after the habit that you've already had. So I think the same thing applies, like figuring out what things is this person already doing. Like, for example, I have a client who does a morning mobility ritual every morning. So then anchoring maybe a couple strength exercises to that. So then it becomes maybe 10 minutes of more work, but it's already anchored to a ritual that they do every morning. So I think each person, you're individualizing because everybody's so different. But I think number one, time's the issue. Get the minimal effective dose. What things are going to knock out the goals that you're trying to shoot for? And then number two, tying it to something that they're already doing.
For those individuals who don't have a ritual, how does progressive motion step in or make suggestions on incorporating the work that we're doing together?
That's where some of these apps are super cool now, where you can create reminders within the app. Like I'm on the board for HOS. It's an app that helps create behavior change, and it has basically almost like an Asana, like where it's tasks.
Oh, that's cool.
And it reminds you throughout the day to do the task, and you get to check it off. So almost the reward is the click and check it off. So finding ways that, like, whatever vibes with you, if technology really can assist you, then going the technology route. But I think it goes back to what is the driver again. Like, if we could really hone in on the driver, then it makes it a lot easier to go through that sacrifice of the pain and time. But I've even had where we audited the person's week. Like, do you not have time for reels? Where it's like every hour is accounted for, and then where we can plug it in, and then accountability with them having to check in with me every week.
Sure. Right, and then can you talk a little bit about the role that environment plays in sustaining rituals? So home setup, gym access, tech tools, etc.
Yeah, that's where the gift and the curse of home. I think environment plays a huge role, because it's almost like the ritual of driving to the gym forces you to do the entire workout versus if I only did my home gym, it's easy to get sidetracked and start answering emails, and suddenly the hour and a half's gone by and it's like, I got to move on to the next task. So environment's huge. So I think that assessing, like, okay, does this environment facilitate or what's the word, take away from the ability to complete the task, and then make your decision there. Because the fact that I drive to the gym, it's like I'm there, I better do my whole hour. And plus people are watching, I'm not going to sit there and be on my phone the whole time on a machine. So environment's huge.
And then how do you approach habit stacking or behavior anchoring in a physical wellness context?
Let's see. I think non-negotiable time that I set aside for the gym space that I train out of. Stacking, I've already had the habit of, I'll give one example. I got one. I wanted to get back to doing the breath work and found it really hard to get it back into my life again because time, and then mental driver, right? Like, why is this important to me? I need to really hone in on that. It's good for me. I feel great after doing it, but yeah, it's hard. It's funny how it's still hard to integrate in my life. So I chose to anchor it to after brushing my teeth, I do a breath work session, like 5 minutes. with my mantra and all that jazz. So it's anchoring it to the thing that you're already doing again. It's like, and then you just got to test. Did it work? Which I found I found mentally for me, if I don't say right off the bat, I'm going to do this, it's going to happen, then I don't do it. It's funny. I realize about myself. Like I had this goal of, okay, breath work every morning. I'm going to do it. Like breath work every morning, whatever. And then in my head, you can feel it in the back of your head, like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. So it's like choosing to do it and do it.
Yeah, that mindset is powerful. Great. And then are there any foundational rituals that everyone, regardless of what age they are, should be adopting?
The breath work. Breath work's powerful because breath work entails anything from like box breathing. So one example is box breathing, where you're inhaling for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. It's breath work's an entry point into controlling a part of the nervous system that we don't have active control over. The breath and how fast you breathe and the pauses allow you to turn the volume up or down on this, what's called the autonomic nervous system. And Navy SEALs use the box breathing like crazy too, because you can control a stressful state and bring it back under control with breathing. So there's other types where it's more stress provoking. So like sympathetic drive, which is like the faster breathing. If you ever heard of Wim Hof, I think a ritual of that, not only for mental side of things, a lot of cool things come to you during breath work and calmness that comes after. But it shows like physiological positive changes too, especially with the Wim Hof stuff. They're showing like immune system improvements with it.
What are some good instances throughout someone's day that breathing can be incorporated easily, going back to that habit stacking or behavior anchoring?
So box breathing, let's say for example, you have a commute every morning, right? So maybe during that commute, maybe the first half of it is the box breathing, which is safe. It's not, I wouldn't recommend doing Wim Hof breathing, the one where it's like, probably not, because you might get lightheaded and dizzy while you're driving. But box breathing is very safe. It's just a slow inhale with a long hold and then exhale and then hold. So tie it to driving, or tie it to the thing that you know you do every morning.
How does progressive motion in general encourage clients to shift from this all or nothing mindset to a consistency is key model?
Yeah, no, it's brick by brick approach we've kind of zeroed in on. Just because the day wasn't perfect or not every box was checked in the day doesn't mean it wasn't a win. It's the accumulation of small wins through the whole week, month, years. It's going to give you the result. So I know I used to be guilty of this too, where it'd be like nutrition side of things, it'd be like all out hardcore, and then it's like Saturday I'd have like something that's outside of that, and screw it, just have the whole day go to shit. So I think the all out or not at all principle doesn't work for the long game, and allowing yourself to be okay with, there was a little bit of a screw up, let's get back on track, instead of saying lose the whole day because of it.
Yeah. And then how does intention, kind of similarly to what you were saying, but let's talk about how intention changes the outcome of ritual, even if the actions stay the same.
Well, it becomes what you think you feel. It's true. Like Tony Robbins always says that perception's reality. So if you go in there with such a strong intention, it's almost like you're willing your way into that result that you're imagining. So I think running with a significant amount of intention and why behind what you're doing, I think whether it be manifestation of it or what, it just, your brain now is focused on that positive intention of what you're trying to, the result you're trying to achieve. I think that's game changer in a sense of just looking at from the brain neurosciences. They call it the RAS, the reticular activating system. It's like they use this one example of, if you never pay attention to yellow BMWs and somebody says, pay attention to yellow BMW, now you're going to see yellow BMWs everywhere. It's just the brain's way of when you bring focus to something, it brings attention to everything of that focus.
And then if our viewers or our listeners, someone wanted to build just one wellness ritual a month into their routine, what suggestions do you have for that?
An easy one would be doing these, they're called controlled articular rotations, but basically taking your body through full ranges of motion. It's on our YouTube. We have a lot of videos on it. But basically, it's actively using every position and movement that each joint can do. Isolated with like a shoulder, for example, and then a neck, for example. Like you're going through and lubricating each joint. You're not only lubricating the joints and getting health in the joint itself, but you're also teaching the brain how to move that joint. Because it's at the end of the day, it is a coordination game. Like how well can you move, and then what is the quality of your tissue, and then the joints themselves too.
Right. And then before we part ways, can you summarize why it is so important to create systems that support lifelong movement through rituals?
I always like this one. I don't know who says it though, but we always fall back to the level of our systems. I think Atomic Habits probably said that one. Meaning when life punches you in the face, you're going to fall back to the things that you do. So it's like what they say in sports too. You fall back to the level of your practice. So having systems in place will carry you through the chaos. If you don't have systems, it's easy to get knocked off track, and very easy. And then you end up in a spiral of where I was, where you put on 50 pounds, and then it's like you have to dig yourself out. And then it requires even more discipline and motivation to dig yourself out.
Right. Well, thank you, Dr. Josh, for your time and your insights. And thank you to our listeners, our viewers, for tuning in to Longevity in Motion, and stay tuned for more content.